My friends, today's video is about awakening. So, we have all been programmed. And the act of awakening consciousness, or what's referred to as enlightenment, is the rapid expansion of your consciousness, which is only possible when we break our programming, change the program. So what I mean by programming is the actual neurological mapping in our brain. And we are influenced greatly by television and education, our schooling system, the media, and our family unit. And these experiences and the things we learn become part of the actual anatomical structure, the actual wiring of our brain. And they become so hardwired that we basically think equal to this programming. We live out of these programs, or think inside the box, if you will. And many of us never question if there's anything just outside of the box, because why would we need to? You know, we become so connected to our beliefs and that we know what we know, which is one of, obviously, the great fallacies, shortcomings of the ego, that we don't question. There's nothing beyond, this programming. So I am here to tell you that there's everything beyond the programming. And I guess this is why I came back. This is part of my path, is to share this message with you, even in the face of machine gun fire. I've just had a few abusive, pretty dark comments thrown at me this morning, so just realizing that that's not a reflection of me, that's just the reflection of where other people are at in their journey. So I do what I can to not take it personally. But to even hear that we've been programmed can be pretty confronting for some people, like pretty triggering. And me, before a near-death experience, would have been the same, to be honest with you. We know what we know. And until we have an experience that shakes up the status quo, we live, behave, choose, think, and believe equal to the neurological wiring in our brain. And as I said before, that wiring is set up through conditioning, through learning, through repetition. So our most highly suggestible part of our life is when we're children. Some of you may be aware of this already, that our analytical brain doesn't fully form until we're about 12, 13 years old. So children, especially young children, are in a highly suggestible state. And early life experiences embed themselves deep, like really deep in the wiring of our brain, in the subconscious mind. But it's important to remember that it's one potential. Any thought, any belief, this is how things are. is one possibility out of limitless potentials for how we could perceive the present moment. And experience enriches the brain. So when we have new experiences, the brain becomes highly plastic. And plasticity is referring to the brain's ability to adapt, to change, to modify. So for me, in my journey, August 11, 2007, I was clinically depressed, worthless, suicidal, and a drug addict, living moment to moment, day by day, with no purpose, no hope. And that had been the case for me for a very long time. I'd been stuck on repeat for such a long time. There's no spiritual foundation in my family. There's no religion. There's none of that. Devout atheist goes out that day. Basically killed myself by crashing my car. And then experienced an awakening inside my coma that's more real than anything that's come before and anything that's happened since that moment. And when you live through something like what I've lived through, and then subsequently after that, heal what is unable to be healed, what every medical expert has told me is impossible. But you go on and you prove that the mind and the heart working together can heal the body. That I've been able to heal my depression and critical head injuries and a shattered back. I broke 3 of the vertebrae in my spine, L1, L2 and L3 in 6 places. And I've got no pain at all. No disability, no pain in my back. That through this experience, my brain has literally remapped itself. There's a different program in place that has allowed me to think for myself, to discover the science of the mind-body connection, a deep understanding of our biology and neuroscience, and the interplay of our perception, what we think and feel, how that impacts our immune system. But the night before my car crash, I would have been the hater dropping the abusive comment saying, "Good one, mate, go back to the crack pipe." Which was one of the comments I got this morning when I said that I healed myself. So whenever we are too married to our beliefs, we are cutting ourselves off from immense potential. And we're in that box. We're thinking out of a program. This is habituated. This is hardwired patterns of thinking and feeling that we take to just be us. We take it to be, that's my personality, that's who I am, but it's not. Ultimately, that's who we are consciously and unconsciously choosing to be in any given moment. But if my story is anything to go by, we have endless potential to become anyone we want to become and change the world, change our reality. Our version of reality immediately changes. It has to accommodate the new personality that you put in place. So back to where we started, okay? We have all been programmed, and sadly for me, I guess, my sense of empathy kicks in here, is that the majority of the world has been programmed into deep limitation and playing small, and not understanding our place in this universe, not understanding where we came from, not understanding the purpose of human existence. And this is why this cut on my head, this scar, is the greatest gift I've ever been given. Truly, the greatest gift. The worst thing in other people's eyes that became the greatest gift in my life.